What's up everyone, it's day 13 in the Big Brother 24 house, but that does not mean things are unlucky. Pooch and Joseph continue to be in a will they won't they situation, and some of the house guests get drunk and reveal some things that people aren't too pleased with. We've got so much to talk about, so welcome to your live feed update. Alright folks, now right before we get started, if you haven't already and you want quick, concise and fun live feed updates on your YouTube feed, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit the like button and the bell icon to get notified every single time a brand new upload goes live on the channel. Alright, now a lot of you might remember that Nicole is a former cop 10 years ago before she became a private chef. Now, she indulged this information to Daniel yesterday. Now, we know them as the Rogue Rats as their final two deal, so it would seem natural that if she was going to tell anybody what was going on there, that she was next cop. I don't think that's ever a good move in the B house. Yeah, I don't know, I just think... I was stuttering over my words there because I was thinking if there was any justice as to why you should tell somebody that. I think cops in general on Big Brother have a reputation because of Derek of being very sneaky and being very good strategically. And yeah, I just don't think that was a good move. It really depends on if she feels as though Daniel is going to stick by her and not divulge that information to anybody else in the house, because as soon as that happens, everybody's going to be going, oh my god, Nicole's controlling the season, she's doing all this, and already, I mean, some of the bros are going, oh my god, Nicole, she needs to go on the block if we win head of household, because they are realising that she's got sway. So if she's got sway and people know that she's kept it quiet that she was a cop, people are going to start to talk and Nicole's going to become a bigger target. So really at this point she's got to hope that Daniel's not going to say anything. She's got to have her fingers crossed that Daniel's not going to say anything. It was nice though because there were, it was quite a deep conversation. It was a deep conversation about family, and I'll talk about it real quick. Daniel was talking about the murder of his brother, and that's kind of what led the conversation into Nicole saying she's able to relate to that kind of thing because of the line of work she used to be in. So that was kind of where that was led on to. So it's understandable. And I feel like over a moment like that where it's quite a touchy subject, quite a very delicate subject, you would think he wouldn't go indulge that elsewhere. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb there. And I do think they are tight. I think they are very, very tight. So I don't think Daniel's going to say anything. But hey, who knows? Flash forward 5 weeks down the line and it might be another different story. Now, Michael and Kyle at one point in the day discussed the idea that all the girls could be working together, and they are obviously onto something there, minus Taylor, who is kind of being thrown out of the picture, which sucks, of course. But let's talk about that for a moment. Michael and Kyle as a duo. If that happens, if this starts to, snowball effect where they start to get into becoming a power duo in the house, I am here for it, man. I mean, let's just break this down for a second. You've got Michael, who is the Big Brother nerd. He's the brains, and also he's won a few comps. Then you got Kyle, who's in with the bros. Those two stereotypes in Big Brother never come together, ever. If they do, they can run this house. Mark my words, they can run this damn house. If they come together and can use both their brains and their brawn and, nobody will suspect that they're working together, they can run the damn house. Mark my words, Michael's got the ins socially, Kyle's got the ins socially. Both are obviously very capable in competitions. They can do it. Trust me. I would like to see them come together as well because they've been shown to be two of the less problematic house guests. And yeah, I don't know. I do actually like both of them, and it'd be cool to see them work together. And I'm just going to reiterate that point. If they get together, sky's the limit. Now, of course, the veto meeting hasn't even happened yet, but Michael holds the power of veto around his neck, and in his hands, he will decide if the nominations stay the same or change this week. Now, the veto ceremony will be coming up most likely today, I believe, which is Monday if you are watching it today. I don't know if you'll end up watching it later in the week, but yes, it's Monday right now, and that's when the veto is most likely to be used or not used. Now, let's clarify that. I don't think Michael is going to use the power of veto. It would just make unnecessary waves. He's already won 2 out of 2 power of vetoes this season, so to use it when he doesn't need to would be pointless for his game. Although I know a lot of us want him to use it on Taylor, but it doesn't make logical game sense. And I don't think he's going to. And I don't really think it matters if you are rooting for Taylor, because even though there's a lot of the house kind of hate towards Taylor. It doesn't necessarily mean she's going home. I think the game target is on Pooch, and he will be going home on Thursday night. Whether he knows it yet, it's difficult. The paranoia is setting in with Pooch, and I think maybe he was convinced at one point it is, but then like he's kind of being reassured not, and a lot of backwards and forwards kind of going on, and just paranoia is the best word to describe it. But yeah, I think nominations will stay the same, and Pooch is most likely heading home on Thursday night. Okay, now for the Joseph stands out there. If you are shipping Pooch and Joseph as a potential showmance, then here's the news for you. Now, people continue to talk about the fact that they are into each other, and it's, not exactly overt, because I think we're all led to believe that they identify as straight. So people are kind of going, maybe not, but then there's so many people just going, in fact, I would say more people than not are going, they're 100% into each other. They are 100% into each other. I'm in the side of thinking that they are. I do think they're into each other. You can just tell from body language, and you know what? It's not even subtle body language half the time. We had Pooch splaying across the couch the other day, grabbing onto Joseph's bicep and just like fondling it for like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 minutes straight. And Joseph was like going like this, like I think to try and like, I don't know if you couldn't tell if he was uncomfortable or if because he wasn't like stopping him, because then he was like holding his hand afterwards, and I don't know. There's a lot to break down there, and also there's the talk as well where he mounted him in the living room the other day and was giving him a back massage, and then he also continues to, both of them talk about BULGE all the time as well. Their BULGE. There was a conversation that literally happened not long ago where I think, it was Joseph who said to Pooch, if you go, who am I going to rub my bulge against? They were hugging on the couch the other day, and Pooch was literally like hugged up to him with his knees up against his chest and like hugging him, saying like, have you got a girl back home and stuff like that? And Joseph was saying, yada yada yada. And then Pooch jumped in and went, she's not the one though. And I'm like, there was a clip that blew up on Twitter about it. Everyone was like, yeah, 100%. I think I would say if anything's going on, Pooch is definitely into Joseph more than Joseph's into Pooch. But I do think the feeling is quite mutual. They are always very touchy-feely with one another, talking about and bulges and yeah, it would be unfair to kind of just go, there's nothing going on there, because I definitely think there is. And to be honest, like I discussed the other day when I was talking about, having came out as bi about a month and a half ago, I would love to see a showmance like that. I'm not rooting for them on a game level at all, but on a showmance level, it would be cool to see something different like that. Okay, now booze o'clock in the Big Brother house, and let's just say there was, I believe, 2 bottles of wine, 2 or 3 cans of beers shared amongst, I was going to say 15, but 11 people, because of the have-nots not being able to have some. And people kind of spilled some truths, and I was thinking, I put out on Twitter, I'll plug my Twitter while I'm at this because it's a smooth moment to plug it since I bridged that over there. Follow me at TV Talks with Tom if you want amazing tweets on your timeline. But yeah, I don't know what to put in those 2 bottles of wine and 2 cans of beer that were shared amongst 11 people to make people talk so openly. But first things first, we'll talk about Alyssa and Kyle. Now, Alyssa, I think, is into Kyle. She was very much kind of being very, you're my closest person in the house, Kyle. I'm looking out for you, giving him all that. And Kyle was like, oh, no, don't worry. You're my best friend in here. Side hug. Like, it wasn't like a full-on, hug that you'd probably give someone if you were crushing on them. You would give, it was like a one-arm kind of, oh, come here, buddy. Like that kind of thing. It was one of those kind of hugs. And the fact he said best friend as well, kind of friend-zoned it. And you could see the body language. Like, Alyssa was like leaning in towards Kyle when they were stood up in the bedroom and leaning towards him and saying, oh, you're my best friend here, will you look out for me and stuff like that. And so she wasn't saying best friend, but she was saying, I'm looking out for you, will you look out for me and stuff like that. She's definitely into him. I don't think Kyle's into her. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. I don't necessarily think the showmance is going to be on the cards. Put it this way, Pooch and Joseph showmance is a lot more likely than an Alyssa and Kyle showmance. Folks, now for the moment everybody is talking about on social media, and it feels like everybody's woken up from a hangover on Twitter. Not the house guest, but it feels like the viewers have woken up from a hangover or a fever dream or even a nightmare. When Taylor got tipsy last night, she was doing girl talk with the majority of the girls. They were all in there together. And she openly said that she wants to make out with Daniel. Yeah, okay. I'm lost for words. Everybody is essentially crying on Twitter going, no, Taylor didn't just say that. After all the crap Daniel's been saying about her all week, Taylor said that. I was like, oh my god, no. And yeah, so that happened. And then she was saying apparently that Daniel said that he had to bring his own condoms into the house because he didn't fit the ones that were provided. You can't make this crap up. If somebody told me that former Miss USA Taylor said that she wants to make out with ex-Elvis impersonator Daniel, who's been trashing her all week, that would not have been on my Big Brother bingo cards. Yet here we are on only day 13. That was night 12, and we're on day 13 right now. You can't make this stuff up, but folks, that is what we call a good old-fashioned Big Brother blindside. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching and learning about the drunk antics of the house guests and potential Joseph showmance. Also, that's a question, Joseph or Jooch? Let me know your showmance names in the comment section below. There's a lot to talk about. And you know what as well? I've really enjoyed today's update for the simple fact of it didn't seem as... not as much talk about the hate on Taylor. And I know I've seen people kind of going, Tom, why'd you talk about it so much? Do you think I want to? I talk about always, and y'all know if you've been with me for 3 years or whatever now, you'll know that I always, even 2 years or whatever, you'll know that I always talk about what's happening in the house. My live feed updates are a reflection of what is happening in the house. I pick out the key moments and I talk about them. And it was just nice to know that it was a bit more game talk yesterday and just less hate on Taylor. It was very, very nice. And yeah, so good vibes today, folks. Happy Monday, and I hope everybody has a fantastic week. But thanks again, everybody, for watching. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure that you're staying safe, staying positive, and staying healthy out there. And remember to be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Do all of that wonderful stuff. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night.